Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Ian, and for once I'm inside Matilda. It's a bit nippy outside, so I'm recording this inside the van. It's toasty and warm in here. About a year ago I did a review of the Bailey Adamo 69.4 that is Matilda, and it's proved to be my most popular video. So a year on I thought I would do a review of what we found over the year and some of the things we've had done to the vehicle and some of the things that haven't gone so well. If I was to go through the vehicle and tell you all the things that we absolutely love about Matilda, we'd be here for a long time and you'd get very bored. So I'm going to cut to the chase and cover the things that maybe haven't gone so well over the year. I'd just like to say at this point that everything that has gone wrong, and there have been a few things that have gone wrong, has been dealt with by our dealer Campbells of Lostock Hall in Preston, and I couldn't be more pleased with their service. Anyway, on with the video. So let's start on the outside. This bit up here where it says Adamo, known as the interface, and as most Adamo owners will tell you, they can warp in the sun, something chronic, and they can split along the upper seal there. Actually, Campbell's did this without me asking them, which is absolutely fantastic. It's had new clips in it and it works extremely well, and we've had no problems since. And these side panels here are quite weak, and they do tend to warp in the sun, but they do go back to normal, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I apologise for any wind noise, it's a little on the breezy side today. Right, the garage, as you can see, like most garages, it's somewhat of a mess in here. As much as I try and keep it tidy, my bike is in there amongst other things, ramps, etc. I've got a couple of pairs of shoes there for walking, and the aqua roll is here, and more on that in a little while. I've upplated the van, and it's now at 4,100 kilograms. Which is great. I tried to do it on my own, but I must have just got the wrong person at the DVLA, unfortunately. So it went sideways, and I eventually went to SV Tech, and it all went through no problem at all. I would recommend anybody to go that way. You've got your money back in about 18 months from the amount of money you save on road tax after all that. One of the most frustrating things, I guess, about the van has been the water sensor. It's useless, basically. So, and I've calibrated it, I don't know how many times, both full and empty. It just doesn't make any sense most of the time. We've actually got an aqua roll back there, you can probably see. Apologies for the state of the garage. We use a pump to fill that with through the whale connector on the side of the van. The problem is, if the water sensor tells the van that it's full, then it won't pump any more water in. So I've had to do some bits of calibration here and there. It is frustrating, just one of those things. I'm not the only one with the issue, and it continues to be a bit of a frustration, but it's one of those things we can put up with. The garage itself is terrific. There's tons of room in here. I've got my bike in here, as you can see, amongst other things. But like most garages, I guess, it's all sort of piled on top of one another. There's tons of space, especially at that far end where you've got, you can stand up at that end, basically. So I need to think about something for this space. It needs some shelving of some kind. So that's something I'm going to look at over this next year. I've had partial air suspension fitted by Glide Right. I'm not sure how well you'll see that there, but it's made one heck of a difference to the drivability of the vehicle, and I would recommend anybody to do it. It just makes such a difference to the drive quality. It's unbelievable. And finally, we've had this 4-metre two-lay awning fitted. Really pleased with that. I wish we'd done it earlier. So inside, let's start with the cab. And up there, as all Bailey owners will know, and apparently some Swift owners as well, the Bailey whistle. We did eventually get it. It went back and Campbell's sorted that out. No problem at all. We don't have that problem anymore. All sorted. Just a little niggle I have when driving. Lane assist and driver fatigue warnings. I constantly get driver fatigue warnings. I've had it come up as soon as 5 minutes after I've set off. It drives me bonkers, but it's only a press on the button on the steering wheel to get rid of it. And lane assist is really odd. Your steering wheel goes light all of a sudden. It's really strange. This is a Ford thing, and lane assist seems to be very common now on vehicles. I don't particularly like it. You can turn it off on the steering wheel, but it will come on as soon as you start the engine again next time. So I put up with it, but it does drive me somewhat bonkers. At the steering wheel, I mentioned in my review that it was difficult to get the driver's chair around. I didn't think we would move it round. In reality, what's happened is you can just push the steering wheel back down, literally pull the lever under the steering wheel, push it down, and it makes it much easier, and you can actually get this seat then into a position that's comfortable to sit in. It sounded like a faff, and it was something I didn't want to do particularly. But I've found in reality that I normally drive with the steering wheel fully up. So pushing it fully down, when we come to set off again, it's just a matter of pulling it fully up again. So that's not been a problem, and we get on with that, no bother at all. The other weird thing is that when you rotate the seat, the actual lever, and you can see it just there, to allow the seat to move forward and backward towards the window and away from it, stays at the front. It doesn't rotate with the seat, so that can be a little awkward, but it's not a problem. We've sort of got used to it. And also under the passenger seat there, I showed you on the review that the MPPT controller, the charger, the battery, etc. are under there. There are also some fuses. We did have an issue where the control panel went off. This one back here, the Seattle panel, went off, and it would only come on when we were on hookup. And I tried my best to find fuses, and I couldn't get it to come on unless we were on hookup. Fortunately, we generally are, so it wasn't a problem. But there is a fuse under that seat along with a couple of others, and you do have to struggle to get to them, but that can be changed and sorted out. So that's another little thing that happened. That fuse went on us. The reversing camera is on the display there, and I've got to say it's very good. I thought it was quite wide angle, and it is, and I wasn't sure how well that was going to work, but actually when you're reversing, you can get the van within inches of where you want it to be. You just have to be aware of anything overhanging, just to be sure. So just make sure that anything up above isn't a problem. But as far as the bottom of the van is concerned, which is where you're reversing to, very accurate indeed. I've actually fitted a rear view camera there, and I'll do a review on that in another video, so I can see the top of the van as well as the bottom of it, and also see vehicles behind me when I'm driving. but as I say, I'll cover that in another video. The last thing really on the cab is the Forward Pass app, and I've found that to be absolutely superb. So when you open the app, it will show you your vehicle location, fuel level. You can start the vehicle, lock and unlock it, software updates, your vehicle details, etc, etc. Very, very useful indeed. And you can switch to see all your other settings, your tyre pressures, your AdBlue, your washer fluid level, your service intervals. Just about everything you need on the vehicle is available there, and you can get to it from anywhere. You don't have to be on the van to do it. I suppose it's cab rather than habitation, but it does let light in. It is used as a sunroof, so I'll cover this. The blind here was truly stiff. Linda couldn't move it at all. It was really, really difficult to close and open. So that has been changed under warranty, which is absolutely terrific. The habitation door here, the blind, unfortunately the string has snapped on this blind. That's on order and will be done as soon as possible. The bed controller. It's not the best place for a bed controller, in fairness. It's quite high up, but we've had 2 or 3 of these. They lose their memory every time you shake a stick. But we're able to get around it. They're not the best bed controller in the world, but it's never stopped working. It always does work, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. I did find that one of the light switches, this one, was blowing a fuse, and I narrowed it down to these 2 lights, the one on the grab handle here and the one up here. It turned out to be some crushed wires which will have been there from manufacture, and that was sorted out, so that's no longer blowing any fuses, I'm pleased to say. And the only other thing I did was I updated the router, and in there you can see the router. It's a Netgear Nighthawk. Very, very pleased with that. We use EE, and although I've got the outside aerial connected, really doesn't need to be. It works perfectly well in the van. Will work off battery. It will work off a power supply. I've got it connected to my UPS because of the stupid way the power goes off when you start the van. And you can see another little unit just to the bottom and left of the UPS, and that's a little buck converter which just sorts the voltage out from 12 volts down to 9. The big problem we had was the fridge freezer. It's a great fridge freezer, no problems there. It's absolutely terrific, and even though it's a compressor freezer, we've had no issues with it, using the battery or anything like that. Again, we're on hookup pretty much all the time, so it's not a problem for us. The great thing is we don't have to worry about it switching to gas or anything else. It just works off the Habitation battery. The problem we had was the freezer would just stop working. It would defrost itself. The fridge carried on, but the freezer would stop, and so I monitored it over a period of time, kept in touch with Annie at Campbells, and eventually Thetford decided that they would change the whole unit, and change the whole unit they have, and that's been working absolutely terrifically well since. So no problems there. It's working a treat, and it's a great fridge freezer. Another little thing that's happened is to do with the flap here, and you can see that this particular arm hasn't come up and gone into place, and the reason for that is that the spring has snapped. So there's one on order for that, but just so you're aware, there are 2 secret buttons, one here and one here, so you don't need to lift it up and drop these down. You can just literally reach underneath, press the button, and that goes back. it took me nearly 7 months to find that, so I thought I would pass it on. And I said we didn't like high level microwaves and I didn't want to make this into a microwave cupboard. However, our microwave is in there, but rather than make it so that you could see the microwave and all the rest of it and lose the cupboard, I've kept the cupboard. I've moved the shelf up and we've got room around the microwave, and it's not too bad at this height. We can do what we need to do with it, and we found that useful in there, so that's how we do that. This cupboard hasn't changed at all. The bathroom has been fantastic. The shower is excellent, really good. Linda's not somebody who enjoys showers. She never feels comfortable in them, but this is just the right size for her to feel okay in it, and it's a really nice little shower, so we've been using this quite a bit. It's a smashing shower, no problem at all. We fixed the problem with the toilet roll coming off by just putting a little peg on the end there, no problem. And we did have an issue with the tambour door here getting really stiff, but as you can see now, I'm putting no effort on that at all, and it just slides. We had a problem when I was looking at it, that it looked like it was starting to mark the runner at that end, but again, the guys at Campbell's had a look at this, and there was something stuck underneath the actual door, and just stopping it working as well as it could. And it's just so easy to do now. It's absolutely superb, so no complaints there. Everything is pretty much as we want it to be now, and apart from the hab door blind there and the spring on there, everything is done and working perfectly, and we're looking forward to getting out more and more as the weeks and months go on. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. We absolutely love Matilda. She's a great van, very much a home away from home. We've done nearly 4,000 miles this year, totally enjoyed every single mile, and we're getting about 30 miles to the gallon, which I'm quite pleased with. We do have one compromise, and I think every van has a compromise, but I think our compromise is possibly one of the smallest you can get, and that is because it's a drop down double bed and we have it down at the bottom, then I generally have to climb over to get to the loo, but as I very rarely get up in the night, that's really not a big problem, and that is honestly our only compromise. I'd just like to say a really big thank you to the guys at Campbell's Service Centre. You've been terrific this year. Thank you so much for your professionalism and your patience with me. I have appreciated it. So to Trish, Annie and Lucy, Martin, Matt and Andy, thanks very much indeed. It's appreciated. I will put a link up here somewhere and also in the description pointing you to my original tour, so you can have a look at that as well. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks to all the subscribers as always. If you've enjoyed it, please do give me a thumbs up and do leave me a comment. I always enjoy reading your comments. I will try and reply to every one of them. Until the next time, thanks very much for watching. Cheerio.